Hey guys, so in today's video I am going to be creating this really easy to wear and easy to create prom/special occasion makeup look. So to start off with, I applied some MAC strobe cream to give my skin a glow, and then I went in with the Makeup Forever HD Ultra Foundation to even out my skin tone and to match my face to my neck. I will leave all of the products linked below, of course. Then I went in and filled in my eyebrows. Today I'm using the Anastasia Dip Brow in the shade Taupe, and I created quite a structured brow today. I find that if you have a special occasion or a prom, your brows sometimes can disappear in photos if you don't fill them in quite fully. So fill in your brows as you normally do, but maybe just a little bit heavier. Just make sure you get that shape. Now I'm just concealing my eyelids with the LA Girl concealer. I have quite a lot of pigmentation on my eyelids, so I tend to do this no matter what eye look I'm doing, but you don't need to do this if you don't. It kind of works as a primer as well, so you just do what you'd normally do underneath your eyeshadow. So firstly, I'm going in with this pale yellow shade and I'm applying that all across my lid and up to my brow bone. This will just create a nice even canvas for the rest of the eyeshadows. Now I'm applying tape to the outer corner of my eyes to help guide me in applying the eyeshadow and eyeliner. Then I'm going in with this peach shade and I'm applying that very messily above the crease and up almost to the brow. You can see I apply this quite generously and you just want to keep blending until it's nice and smooth. Then I'm going in with Naked from the Naked 1 palette, which is a very light brown, and I'm using this in my socket line, well, kind of just above my socket line, to create some definition. You can see I'm kind of rounding that around the socket of my eye just to create depth. Now I'm going in with this Inglot pigment. It is a beautiful shimmery gold. I applied some Duraline to the back of my hand to make the pigment wet, and I applied this to the inner corner of my eyes. For the other half of my eyelid, I used this really coppery pigment from Inglot. Again, shades will be below. And I'm just blending this right up to my crease. I kind of regret wetting these pigments. I wish I had just went in with them dry, but you live and you learn. Now I'm just blending out the edges of those pigments and blending the two colors into one another. This looks a little bit crazy right now, but it will soften. Now I'm applying Buck from the Naked 1 palette, and I'm applying this to the outer corners or outer V's of my eye just to elongate the eye and to smoke out the look. Now I'm just using a little bit more of that light brown shade from the Naked 1 palette to make sure everything is blended and soft. For eyeliner, today I'm using a brown eyeliner. I just feel like on my eye shape, black eyeliner can be extremely harsh and very hard to wear. I have quite hooded eyes, but when I use brown, I feel like it's a little bit more forgiving and I have more room for mistakes, which I tend to make quite a lot. As you can see here, this takes me quite a while, but take your time with this. Now I'm going in with a dark matte brown shade and I'm deepening up that outer V. I felt like the lids were looking slightly too gold yellow, so I went in and applied Stila's Kitten eyeshadow, which is a very soft champagne. I applied it all over the inner corner of the eyelid, maybe the inner third, and it just really softened the colours of the look and made it a lot more versatile of a look, I think. Using this IT Cosmetics Tightline mascara, I am just applying a very light coat to my lashes. To deepen up the lash line, I'm applying some matte black eyeshadow along my liner. I'm not bringing this out onto the wing, I'm just applying it to that very lash line. Now I'm applying the Socialeyes Glamourous Shorty eyelashes. These are quite a fluffy, natural lash. They're one of my favourites. Now back to the face. Using the Bobbi Brown corrector, I am just correcting some darkness underneath my eyes, and then I'm going in with a light concealer and highlighting the crap out of my face. For pictures and for special occasions, this will really make a big difference in photos. So just make sure that you blend it out completely so that it doesn't look too cakey. Using a damp beauty blender will really help you with this. Now I'm contouring with this brown concealer from LA Girl. I'm just applying it to my jawline, under my cheekbones and around my forehead and a tiny bit to my nose because I feel like this also makes a huge difference in photographs. When someone takes a picture of you and if they have the flash on or if it's a very dark room, sometimes the shape of our face can just disappear and we really lose structure and definition in our face. So with this cream bronzing / contouring technique, you really just make sure that your face maintains its structure in pictures, I guess. It just looks really good in general anyway, I think, but make sure you take the time to blend it out. Now I'm just setting under my eyes with a translucent powder to make sure my concealer stays in place. I'm also setting the highlighted areas of my face too. To set the rest of my face, I'm using a slightly darker powder, which is from Benefit, called Hello Flawless. Here I'm adding in some powder contour under my cheeks, but this isn't necessary, just do it if you want. And I'm also applying some highlighter to the tops of my cheekbones. This will look stunning in pictures. It will make you look super glamorous and glowing. Just apply it to all of the high points of your face and you will look amazing. Now I'm going back to the eyes. I'm just taking that light brown Naked shade from the Naked One palette and smudging that underneath my eyes to make sure the look on my eyes is continuous to the lower lash line and just looks nice and seamless. Then I'm taking the shade Book, which is the slightly darker one, and I'm just blending that to the outer corners, just again to elongate and smoke out the eye. To complete the look today, I am using the MAC lip liner in the shade Whirl to line my lips, and then I'm using Maybelline's Daringly Nude lipstick over the top. If you like, you can add a little bit of a gloss. It looks really nice in pictures. I used this nice pink one from Stila. So that is the end of the tutorial, guys. I hope you have an amazing prom or a special occasion, or just a great day if you're just watching this for fun. And I will talk to you again really soon.